At a new look, newly rebuilt Ashton Gate. The Hornets in their yellow and black shirts, black shorts, black socks, playing from left to right as we look at things in this first half, attacking the south stand. Here's Tommy Rowe, former Peterborough and Wolves and Doncaster man, forming part of this back three for Dean Holden's side tonight. Taylor Moore, 23-year-old, over the halfway line to Silva, former Chelsea academy man. Takes it out to the left-hand side, and Patterson moves into the Watford box. And it's Semenyo just over the bar. Swept it first time, Antoine Semenyo, but just too high of Ben Foster's left-hand post and crossbar. It remains 0-0 with 9 minutes on the clock.
Fortunate, I think. It's a good build-up from Bristol City. Started with the two centre-halves combining, went all the way through the team. Poor defending from Ngakia, lets his man go past him. They've had a couple of set pieces, but 14 minutes of possession, we just haven't turned it into pressure. We've got into their box a couple of times, but it's certainly, you could argue it's our most positive start.
And here is Quina trying to make the most of that, and Viner did very well, having initially lost out to Domingos Quina. Feminine, 15 minutes played, no goals. João Pedro holds off more, finds Garner. Garner looks for Gray inside the penalty area, can't quite turn. It'll come to Sarr, and it's deflected wide. Watford's first attempt from Ismaïla Sarr. Took a nick off the defender, that took it wide. The Hornets have their third corner.
It's good, patient possession, and then a fabulous pass into Gray from Garner. He's tried to Cruyff turn it and get it back on his right foot, but it's fell to Sarr, and fortunately, it's hit the centre half.
Here's Feminine from the throw. Just about kept the ball in. Garner, João Pedro helps win it back, and here's Quina attacking the edge of the penalty, going for goal, and it's wide of the left-hand post. We know he can do it from there, Domingos Quina, and only one thought in his mind as he turned on his right foot, and that wasn't far away. No, just it's a little too late.
It's bright from Quina. We said at the beginning he started the game really well, and that's why he's in that role in almost like a 10 slot or an advanced centre midfielder, is to get between the back three and the midfielders.
It's a free kick on the right hand. It's a couple of yards outside the penalty area, right on the right hand edge. It's going to be James Garner, so it'll be a right footed delivery. Oh, for a left footer here, Tommy. Not two sat here. It's Garner, right footed though. Whips it in low towards the near post, and it's headed wide by Cathcart at the far post. And it missed Gray at the near post. It bounced up. Craig Cathcart nodded it into the side netting. Watford's best opportunity of this first period. It remains 0-0.
Well, it's a fabulous ball into that little bit of space. You'd call it, defensive coaches would call it no man's land, where it's between the goalkeeper and the defenders. Great ball in, little touch, and it just too tight an angle for Cathcart at the back post. Bearing in mind, he only sees that ball a split second before it's on his head, because he can't see it through the bodies.
It's the feet of Garner, who's facing his own goal, goes back to the edge of his own box, and Cathcart, who plays it across almost the 18-yard line for Ngakia on the right-hand touchline. He hits a longer ball forward. Looking for Sarr, who's after it, and he might get on the end of it here. Ismaïla Sarr into the penalty area. Sarr for Watford. It's a great challenge from Taylor Moore, sliding back in just in the nick of time to block Ismaïla Sarr's shot behind for a corner.
Well, Ngakia had no other option, but it turns out to be a good pass because of Sarr's willingness to go in behind and his pace. They're very flat, the back three centre-halves. He's unlucky because he has tried to pull it across. It's in one of those areas where you're almost in two minds. Do I shoot myself or do I pull it back across?
Capoue on the edge of the centre circle. Curls it forward, looking for Gray and Sarr, but it's Tommy Rowe who intercepts for Bristol City, and O'Dowda finds De Silva on the left-hand side. He's already 15 yards inside the Watford half. Rolls it down the left-hand touchline for Semenyo. He's dragged Capoue out with him, and he's gone round him. And Semenyo's into the penalty area. Who can he find? Oh, it goes through the legs of Jeju inside the 6-yard box and out for a throw-in on the left-hand side. What a run from Semenyo, and Jeju holds his head because he can't believe he hasn't put Bristol City ahead.
Well, that's exactly what we've been asking of João Pedro and Sarr, to just be more aggressive and assertive. Really fortunate there. In fact, it's a touch from Ben Foster that takes it away and stops Jeju from tapping it in an empty net.
Nudge is there for Bristol City, and here's De Silva, 35 yards out. Finds Semenyo, it's in a bit of space on the left-hand side into the penalty area. Cuts round and Ngakia, it's Semenyo, and it's towards the far post. I think that was fingertips from Foster. Again, Ben Foster forced into action and denies Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo, who suddenly had a bit of space on the left-hand edge of the penalty area. And Ngakia rather sold himself. Semenyo beat him, and no, it didn't get a touch this time from Foster. I think it just went flashed across goal. Now O'Dowda, 10 yards short of the penalty area, finds Semenyo. Certainly is Bristol City's brightest attacking spark. Feeds to Silva, and now Patterson. Patterson drills it into the box looking for Hunt, who's got round the back. Hunt's cross is a little overhit, but it comes to Semenyo, who tries to loop it over Foster, and it lands on the roof of the net with Ben Foster just having an anxious look over his shoulder. Semenyo, that was a clever header from Hunt's overhead cross, but fortunately for Watford it lands on top of the net. 0-0 it remains.
Yeah, it's Bristol City's best bit of play. Certainly possession-wise, they've moved it from right to left and then back to the right, get a good cross in. Not sure it was what Hunt meant or indeed what Semenyo meant with his header, but nevertheless, closest thing to a goal.
Chalobah steps forward, finds Quina, midway inside the Bristol City half. Tries to find Pedro in field, actually deflects our defender and comes to Quina again. And first time, he drills it out to Sarr, who's one-on-one against De Silva. Sarr in towards the near post, Chalobah can't quite get her. Comes to Quina, it's shot, great save, Bentley tips the ball over the bar. Best attempt from Watford tonight. Domingos Quina firing goalwards from 15 yards. He started the move, he very nearly finished it, but Daniel Bentley forced into action for the first time tonight, equal to it. Watford have a corner.
Yeah, just that ball in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. As a coach, I used to spend hours and hours working on drills to get that ball across, so your 2 strikers or your 3 strikers.
Martin finds Jack Hunt. Jack Hunt in towards the box, looking for Martin, and Kabasele has to turn it behind. It was just a yard too far in front of Chris Martin. Kabasele, aware that Semenyo was coming in round the back of him, turns it behind for a Bristol City corner.
Again, at the opposite end of the pitch, it's that ball in between the defenders and the goalkeeper that causes so many problems.
We're going to have 3 added minutes at the end of this second period. 0-0 it remains. The first of those. Here's Nucky Wells for Bristol City though. Down the right-hand side, up against Kiko Femenir. Works it back to O'Dowda. His cross is deflected behind by Craig Cathcart for a late Bristol City corner on the right-hand side.
We're talking of front twos. Bristol City have now got Nucky Wells and Chris Martin. There won't be too many double acts with a better championship goal ratio than those two. So in the final minutes of the game, they're very, very dangerous.
Nucky Wells joined Bristol City in January. Scored 20 goals in the championship last season. O'Dowda with the corner for the home side. It's swung and it's flicked on towards the far post, and then the volley is parried away by Foster. Well, Rowe rather shanked his volley, and it nearly wrong-footed Ben Foster and looped over him, who stuck out a long left hand and clawed it away for another corner. Well, it's
so fortunate.
Really good chance for Tommy Rowe, who made a hash of it, but it's still nearly sneaked in. Referee Whitestone's just keeping an eye on before this can be delivered by the former Walsall man. Right-footed delivery towards the far post. It's headed down by Rowe, and it's volleyed over the bar by Taylor Moore as the full-time whistle goes on a rather drab, dull 0-0 on a Wednesday night in Bristol.
Click here to subscribe.